Hey everybody, Ace of Trades here again. I went back through my charts. I knew there was a nice day not too long ago where I could show you about these two legs that people will mistakenly try to turn into wider channels, and then they'll get trapped trading off them. And so here on January 7th, this was a good day where prices were just and I didn't even mark this one, but it's overnight, so I wouldn't have been on the chart yet. I usually come in about 9. I guess I would have been in there. So we can see initially you'd probably be looking at this. Let me get this as a measured move. Initially, you would have been looking at it like so. If we put this chart this over here and you come in, say like 9 o'clock, um, at the first, you would have probably drawn some sort of trend line like this, right? Said, oh, okay, here's your break in new high, and now it's trying to reverse, but this is also is this the overnight? Where do I have that there? Maybe down here is probably better. Yeah, I think that's where I had it that day. Okay. And so you get this, prices are trying to reverse now off these highs from yesterday, or I should say the 6th. Is that the 6th? Yeah. So they broke up here and went down. And so we're falling price. There's not really anything you could really want to take here as far as a setup. So now that this broke, made a new high, tried to reverse and failed, and now strongly pushed back up through the highs, pulled back, tested the MA, and pushed up higher. Now what I'm looking for is I have this whole move up here now drawn is like I'm looking at this as one leg, right? And so when this pushes up, I draw my move there, I copy it, I paste it here where the swing low is, and now I'm looking for prices to maybe make it up here. It doesn't always, it's just a target, it's just something to watch for. And so it's pushing up to there. It doesn't make it, but it does create a new high. Um, okay, and now prices are trying to push that back down through here. All right, and so you have this move down. So I'd be looking at this probably as like a move down. All right. So we got that. And now what I probably would do is I'd look at it like this here. Okay. So um, what people will do, so I'm kind of looking at this. This is quite a bit larger than that. So I'm connecting this whole thing as a leg. You get a break. Don't really get an entry. It doesn't really give you anything good to get in on to retest. It does, you know, breaks the trend down, pushes to a new low. We don't make the measured move here, okay? But it pushes down significantly that you can see that that's one leg, two legs, okay? And then what people do then is they'll come over here. I have these pre-drawn so save time. And they'll start trying to make this into like a whole new channel like that. And then what they'll do is when prices come back to this area here, they'll be looking for entries off it, which is a mistake because this is not a channel. It's just two uniform legs down that when you draw lines, parallel lines off it, it tends to appear like it's forming a larger channel. Um, but this is really just two legs down here. So you have that. This people look at this as like a double bottom and say first attempt, second attempt. And what a lot of people will do here is they'll enter either here or here, and what happens is they get trapped because this is not a channel that's confirming. This is two legs down, and so it's already very close to these lows. So two legs down, very close to these lows. Very suspect that you're going to uh, you're going to get a trade that's going to work for you there. Okay. And so it bounces up. And now I didn't draw it on here, but this is probably what I would have done. Is I would have been looking here, right? So we made two legs back up out of here. We broke out of the highs again. This is thin enough, which means these legs aren't separated enough that maybe this might be all one trend, but I'm still looking at it right now as two legs, and it does confirm as two legs because it just drops as soon as it makes that measured move, and you get some selling coming in up here at the highs, it just dumps. And so it dumps right back down. And like I always talk about, the overnight lows can be important levels, so you have to be careful about people who are not aware of these levels. They may get trapped going the wrong way on trades, but you can see as soon as it comes down and ticks that area that's um, the overnight low level, it just bounces right out of there, bounces back up to the highs. This is all one channel. You don't have any room to get any way to get into that. This is just price is just swinging back and forth now in legs, and so you get this leg up. Okay, we draw that break, copy that, draw that as a leg up. It makes it as soon as it hits that measured move and starts turning back down. Um, that might be something that you consider that lower high off the measured move. If this had given me a better uh, print, not such a huge bar, and would have given me a little lower high, that's probably a good spot. Like if this would have ticked a little higher and closed down around this area with room to this EMA, that's a good spot to take a trade. This month it's been tough on getting good entries. The prices are just not printing. Bars are zooming into different areas. They're not closing with room to different areas where you would like to get in on entries. So anyway, so now you have one leg up, two legs up, and now this failed to push down in here and is bouncing higher. So what I'm doing then is I'm combining both of these legs into one leg, drawing that, pasting it here where the second leg looks like it's starting, and then we're just waiting to see. So it goes up. Now you can't just because it hits a measure move, you can't just short. You got to look for opportunity there. Um, that's just too it's too narrow to short here. This might be the top, but um, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it'll just tick you in and go up. You just never know. Um, like here, this pushed up a few points past the measured move before it went. Now I know guys that they'll just they'll wait for a bearish, like in something like this, they'll wait for a bearish print and they'll just give themselves a few points, and then they'll target a few points down here. I'm not crazy about that style of trading. Um, I was hit and miss on it, so I don't trade like that. I wait for more what I would think is a better confirmation, and you're just not getting. This is just it bounced the EMA, pushed higher, and um, now it's coming down. And so again, what people will do is they'll look at this and they'll try to, right? I had these drawn and I didn't. So they'll try to combine these two. They're just two legs. And what people do is they'll kind of combine this and turn this into like a channel that they're going to trade off of, or they're going to, and there's nothing set up here to trap you. But if you'd have got some sort of like long entry to go long here, you'd have got trapped and stopped. And people do this. I see that this is one of the biggest mistakes even like more advanced so-called traders make, is they try to combine these legs and make them channels, and they're just legs. They're not really channels. And so if there does happen to be a time when it works for you, you're just reinforcing a bad habit, because it's not high probability it doesn't have a high enough probability that it's going to work more often than it's not, then it's going to be that it's going to be a profitable entry for me, um, from my perspective. And so, this was just running up and running down all this day without giving you um, much of a chance to get in. Um, some people may have taken this bar here when this dumped like that. They may have taken that as like a failed attempt to trap anybody who went long here. Here's a first attempt higher, second attempt higher. You can see how that just snaps right down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points is a lot of risk to take on unless you're confident that you're gonna, a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people I know go 1-to-1 on their trades. So you'd be having to look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And here that dumps right down for you. But often, it'll keep creating lower highs, and it's not a fun thing to sit in. Um, let's see there. So you have this entry in this day. This seems to be how it's been this month. It's just not creating good setups for you. And I know there was a person, I just saw this again. I know there's a person that got trapped here. I remember there's a person that got trapped here. What you're looking for when you're looking for corrections to get in on a trade, you're looking for. I'm glad I looked at this because this was a nice day to look at to see some things. So you have these two legs up, these two big legs up. You can see that. And I think maybe people cannot see like the bigger picture of what's going on in the price action, and maybe that's why they struggle sometimes. They're just so dialed into the most near-term move that they don't see what could be happening. So I'd see this whole thing as a move down. Okay, there are two legs here, but it's not super clean. Like you can see how clean these are, and you can see this just kind of um, grinding down. Like here you got this leg, and it bounces a little bit, and then um, price just kind of grinds down here to the overnight high. Now it bounces out of there, but I'm still concerned that probably not looking for an entry here, but I'm still concerned about going long because of this big move down. That all kind of looks like one move down to me, and it may retest. And so I know a guy that looked at this as like a first attempt and a second attempt, and he entered here and got trapped. But this is just one leg and then sideways. It's not two legs down. And so he entered there and got trapped. And then you can see this does end up making a new low, and this second leg down here, um, and it does eventually get to, a little break here on this second leg, but um, again, on this, not looking to take a trade off a break because this is the main trend that's already broken and made a new low, and although this measured move is still in play, um, you know, you may get trapped here on prices reversing out of there because they don't always make the measured move. It does here, continues to go lower and lower still. And if price is continuing to do this, you get your legs down, and it's not like you're not getting this then. So you have two legs down, pushes up, two legs up, pushes down, two legs up, tries to correct, but you've got another layered leg here, and then it pushes down. If you keep getting this down, second leg, pushes out of the bottom, comes back, continues to push down, there's a chance that there actually is some sort of bigger trend down, and you may be able to start looking for drawing a maybe bigger channel. I don't see anything with the eye here that sits out, because if you would draw something here, you'd end up with an overshoot there, and it just doesn't work well. I can just show you that. We'll just copy this guy and we'll try to put something here. And if you were to like draw something, even if we cut that maybe a little bit closer, even so that's a little much to cut it that much. But even if we cut that there and we would copy this guy, put him down here, yeah, now you're overshooting and you try to fade back up after the overshoot, continues to go down, and now you've got, it gets difficult, first of all, because you're not getting very clean moves. You're just getting a bunch of static every time you push down and correct, and you're not really getting any clean structures to trade. So, but anyway, I wanted to just show that. Um, I don't know why I'm removing it, doesn't matter. Yeah, so anytime you get two obvious legs down, right? Here you got a bunch of stuff moving back and forth, but there's nothing really obvious as clean, clear legs. So you can make this whole thing like a trend up. Um, but anytime you get two clear pushes down, it's very dubious to try to create a larger trend out of it. Again, one clear leg, a second very clear leg, mostly green bars up, mostly red bars, mostly green bars up. It's not like you have this like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the way up. It's two legs. And so you try to draw a bigger channel off that, and it's going to give you problems more often than not. So I just wanted to point that out. Um, I would be very careful trying to create bigger channels off of uh, a couple clear legs down, because really what you're getting is you're getting a trend down, a break, and a second, an attempt to make a measured move down, and then it's just reversing off of that. So hope that was a help, and I'll talk to you in the next one.